So this is Stehekin. Gonna hop on that red bus back to trail. Howdy. Hey guys, good, how are ya? A little general store, restaurant, post office down there. Entering the Glacier Peak wilderness. It's supposed to be one of the coolest places on the trail. Got a little sandwich deal, croissant from the bakery, and then some more of my eggs from last night. Wow. Woo! Old burned area. Imagine in the coming years there's going to be a lot of these on the PCT. Wild raspberries. Definitely worth stopping and picking. Just incredible. Even if it is raining. These are seriously best blueberries I have ever tasted. They're a little bit tart, but also very sweet. There's a thunderstorm over this way. I think it might slide by, hopefully, but there's also a campsite. Well, there's a campsite right over here, but there's 1.5 miles south. Yeah, here's the sign for this campsite. But this is pretty open and exposed and rocky, so I think I'd rather go a little bit higher into the trees and just make a little more progress. It's August 3rd, back on trail after a zero in Stehekin. Man, Stehekin was an awesome place. Very hiker friendly, really beautiful, and that lake was so refreshing. Pretty expensive, as you would expect, because the only way to get there is via boat or to hike in. So all the supplies are taken in by shuttle every day, or a ferry rather. And most people there come in by the ferry as well. But ate some good food there. It's a delicious bakery there. And let's see what else. Met brother and sister who did a section south of Stehekin, and the sister, she had previously hiked the PCT and CDT. They had an extra room in their lodge, so they let me stay there, so that was really nice. And then my feet were like swollen so big that they barely fit in my shoes yesterday, but now today they feel way better, a lot less pain. having to take less ibuprofen. Got some really good food from the bakery that I carried out. Still got a beer with me. Carried out some hard-boiled eggs. So I'm gonna be eating good the next couple days. And then there's a storm overhead. Just gonna try and make it to camp before it hits. Hey, look, it's hailing now. At about 6,000 feet. Really not ideal in a hailstorm, thunderstorm. But well. Whew. Hail's getting kind of painful. This is the lightning safe squat right here. I'm more just doing it so I can get off my feet. Lots of lightning, lots of thunder, lots of rain. But it's good. These moments are good. It's good to be reminded that we don't have forever. And we're not guaranteed forever. It makes you face the fact that you could die. And you gotta be okay with it. So I'm actually not really nervous right now or in fear. I'm definitely amped up, but I feel fine. It's gonna be fine. Or it won't, and it won't be my problem. So either way, it's gonna be fine. This creepy, crazy looking thing is actually an outdoor toilet. Which is kind of nice. This is the Swado River. Very happy there's a bridge here. That would not be crossable. Super cool. This is really old growth forest. Look how big some of these trees are. Very lush, very green. Yeah, just huge, huge trees. Let's take a look at this tree compared to me. This is one of the smaller ones in here. The size of this tree. Wow. Wednesday, August 4th. Hiking through a beautiful old growth forest right now. This kind of really reminds me of Jurassic Park. Everything is just so big and green. It feels prehistoric. Feels like something from a different era. Yesterday was pretty crazy. Set up camp just in the pouring rain and hail. And there was a ton of lightning. The storm went on for like 4 hours. There was still lightning at 9 and 10 o'clock when it was full dark. And it just lit up the tent like I've never seen lightning that bright before, so that was a little bit hard to get to sleep. And then of course this morning having to put on cold wet socks and the wet shoes. It's never fun. I'm going to find some place to let everything dry out on my next break. Today I'm aiming for about 30 miles. There's a really cool lake that I want to camp at. It's going to be roughly 5,000 feet of climbing. This is a slug. Interesting. Nice little spot to let everything dry out. There's a bunch of flies, but yeah, whatever. I'm just gonna have to do this the whole time I'm here. I get tired of dealing with the flies, so I set up my tent while everything dries. Maybe take a little nap. But feet from being wet all day. Look how gross the inside of this tent is from being wet. It's like the fallen bones of giants. Definitely not getting over this thing. Actually getting some pretty good nutrition today with all the berries I'm picking. Probably had a couple hundred of them by now. Scenic toilet on the trail. And I would say that is correct. Look at this view. This is Mica Lake. Wow. Such a gorgeous place. But lots of climbing. I think this is probably one of the toughest sections of the PCT. But worth it. Yesterday did about 30. Today I'm going to do about 28. And then tomorrow maybe 29. Get to town, depending if I can figure out if there's a good place to stay or just camp out and then go to town the next day. Seeing lots of Novos now. Saw like 7 or 8 today alone. And there's just going to be more and more. This is just the fastest of the pack. Most of the Novos are probably still in northern Oregon, southern Washington. Look at this little marmot, just sunning himself. Guess he's taking in the view too. This guy's just staring right at me. You fat little marmot. made it. This is called Red Pass. Wow, what a view. Holy shit. This is unreal. Wow. Check out my campsite for the evening. Now wait for it. Should be a beautiful sunset. Out in the clouds this morning. Which is a shame because this was a really great view last night. But you can see the clouds build up around sunset. Looked really, really cool. Just like a big old blanket of clouds coming across all the tops, and then started raining sometime around 11 or so. It's just been raining intermittently since then. Hopefully it's done now. Hasn't been raining for the past hour. And then today I'm going to try and get most of the way towards Stevens Pass, which will take me down into Skykomish. I think I'm going to have to actually take up a zero there because I'll get there on a Saturday and the post office closed the weekends, obviously. Got a package there. But the silver lining of that is there's a Sunday breakfast buffet at the inn in Skykomish. So I am definitely gonna eat that. Sun's starting to come out. This is Lake Sally Ann. It's raining a little bit. Really pretty spot. Be a nice place to swim if it were not cold and rainy. Sometimes I envy these people just doing small sections and they can stay in their tents until noon if it's raining. That'd be nice. I guess I could too, but I choose not to. It's been raining again, off and on. Feet are soaked. And every time you go by a brush, or a bush, rather, you get soaked again. I'm definitely looking forward to town. Getting dry, getting showered, getting my clothes laundered. Man, when you get wet out here, everything stinks so bad. Seeing that group of people at the lake, group of friends just hanging out backpacking for the weekend, made me kind of long for friends. The lifestyle I'm living, it's hard to maintain friendships, you know, when you move somewhere new. every 3 to 6 months, or when you're on a trail like this, you just can't really, or it's harder to make lasting connections, especially for me, where I'm really bad about keeping up with people. And I just kind of miss that, especially going southbound right now. There's nobody, so I've been camped alone every night, and a couple of southbounders I've come across are all going much slower than I am, so nobody to really hike with, which is fine. It doesn't really bother me, but yeah, just kind of made me think, it's kind of life. You have to give up a lot. Everything in life has trade-offs. In order to travel like this and have this kind of freedom, you'll just take off and go walk from Canada to Mexico. It means I have to give up a lot of the stability and relationship type things that other people have, and it's just a choice. And I don't dwell on it very much, because while I don't have those sorts of things, look what I do have. This amazing wilderness right now. Well, right now it's probably not so cool. Hey, look, dumb chicken. They're so dumb. There's probably a lot of people with very settled lives and families and friends and boring jobs that they would kill to have some of this freedom. So that's what I focus on. How do I make the most out of what I have and just really live life to the max while I do have this freedom? And then if I do eventually want to settle somewhere, I can do that, knowing full well that I've lived a cool life. Oh yeah, the whole point of all that was to answer the question. A lot of people ask me, don't I get lonely out here doing this by myself? And yes, loneliness definitely comes up, but it's not overpowering or overwhelming. Every once in a while, it's kind of bittersweet, like yesterday, coming across some of those incredible views, and just I think it'd be nice to be able to share that with people. But it is what it is. There is loneliness, but there's also so much freedom and joy and satisfaction and sense of challenge and adventure. So why let something like that stop you? I'm not going to let fear stop me. I'm not going to let loneliness stop me. And like any other emotion, it's fleeting. And if you can sit with it, then you recognize that it doesn't have any power over you. That's the whole goal here, right? Is liberation. Rain just makes everything so gross. I'm gonna try and dry out some stuff right here. It's probably rain again tonight. I'm getting tired of being wet. Another cold and rainy day. But I slept in. There was a lot more rain earlier. We have 10 miles to town, so. Almost to Stevens Pass. It's been a cold, wet, rainy day. Here it is, Stevens Pass. Well, now it's time to try and hitch a ride into Skykomish. Apparently this can be a bit of a difficult hitch, but we'll see. I've got good hopes.